Join a religious roundtable discussion.
That means the
Jim
Mazner.
My guests today are Sanjay, Ghostmajunder, local representatives to the American.
These are the true truths, the real realities. This is Mouthwords with Jim Mazner.
Welcome to Mouthwords, the self-proclaimed world's greatest podcast. This week, we join a religious roundtable discussion on the merits of abortion. Also, J.E. Silbert returns with entertainment news. All that and more in this variety half hour. Enjoy. But first, the news. Hillary Clinton clawed her way back into the race for the Democratic presidential nomination this week, claiming victory in hotly contested primaries in Texas, Ohio, and Rhode Island, all essential to continuing her faltering campaign. The Obama camp fought back, arguing that Clinton failed to win by a substantial margin and claiming that they had, quote, a nearly insurmountable delegate lead. Clinton celebrated the victory by returning to her home state of New York, where she spit hot fire into the air and destroyed 12 city blocks. In arms manufacturing news, the highly anticipated Swiss minigun was unveiled this week. Just 5.5 centimeters long, the tiny revolver can fire itsy-bitsy bullets 300 miles per hour and is lethal up to a range of over 100 yards, according to firearms expert Jonathan Spencer. Gun control activists claim that the minigun encourages firearm use by children who are unable to handle regular-sized revolvers. Unfortunately, the invention comes 100 years too late to save thousands of slaughtered midget cowboys who had the same problem. The U.S. House of Representatives passed a bill on Thursday, a feat in itself, forcing group health care plans to increase their coverage for mental illnesses. The House has been battling over the subject of mental health parity for over a decade, and Speaker Nancy Pelosi called the passage a victory for the mentally ill, commenting that the bill would, quote, mandate coverage for a broad range of illnesses. Some felt that the bill did not go far enough, outlining landmines placed within the small print. First, they say, the legislation does nothing to combat the stigma surrounding mental illnesses, and the mentally ill still face the challenge of getting to a doctor's office without being distracted by bright lights. Welcome back to Mouthwords, and welcome back as well to irreverent Hollywood outsider and Mouthwords entertainment correspondent J.E. Silbert. J.E., we're glad to have you back.
Well, Jim, I've got to tell you, it's a simple, pure, unadulterated joy to be back on the show. Ha! It's like a drug, Jim.
Well, that's great, J.E. Well, I wanted to start by going over your Oscar picks.
Please, don't even get me started, Jim. I'm just so embarrassed about my picks. You know, most of the people I chose to win their respective categories weren't even nominated?
Well, actually, I'm not sure any of them were nominated, J.E.
Well, that's just hogwash, Jim. Plain and simple. It just shows the growing divide between film critics and audiences. I think it's a fact that my favorite movie of 2007, Meet the Spartans, made 100 times more money than No Country for Old Men. Now, since when does the amount of money a movie makes not factor into how good the movie is? I mean, who's ever heard of Tommy Lee?
I think you mean Tommy Lee Jones.
Did she get married or something?
I'm not sure. I did hear that Kevin Sorbo was pretty surprised when you picked him to win the Academy Award for Best Actor, though.
Where did you hear that? It's difficult for me to get information out here. As you know, Jim, I'm based out of Taos, New Mexico.
I do know that, J.E.
Being so far from Hollywood is a blessing and a curse. On the one side, I don't have to be blindsided day after day by ridiculous celebrity gossip and movie premiere after movie premiere. Ignorance is bliss, Jim, and on the other hand, knowing those things is my job, so it's a double-edged sword.
Well, I did want to talk about a few other things today.
Are we recording already? I thought this was just chit-chat.
As you know, the Democratic primary has been captivating America as Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama fight for the nomination. Hollywood is known to be a hotbed of highly respected, forward-thinking politicos. Why don't you outline some of the positions celebrities have been taking on this election cycle?
Well, Cut me off guard, Jim. All the candidates run together for me. Oh, wait, I did hear that Patrick Swayze has contracted cancer. He will definitely be voting for anti-cancer candidate.
I'm actually not sure there's much opposition to that platform.
Just more proof they're all the same, Jim.
Well, do you have any more examples?
Yes, the girl who plays Annie at the production of Annie at the Taos Municipal Theater. Her parents have a Ron Paul sticker on, I think it's a Ford Escort. She may not be of voting age, but she carries a lot of weight in the community.
Well, thanks for the scoop. Well, what's next for you, J.E.?
I'm off to Moscow for the Moscow Film Festival. They're featuring a movie on potatoes called Nature's Rock.
Well, I didn't know they grew potatoes in Russia.
Moscow, Idaho, Jim. I'm not welcome in the Soviet Union. On the bright side, though, they filled out the festival schedule with adult films. It's an agricultural twist. Busy week, Jim. Busy week.
Well, thanks for joining us, J.E.
Pleasure as always, Jim.
J.E. Silbert is a constant subscriber to The New Yorker and author of Subways, Submission, and Suppression, The Gay Guide to the Pyongyang Public Transportation System.
Get the fuck out!
This is Mouthwords. Welcome back to Mouthwords. I'm Jim Mazner. This week on the community section of the show, we're looking at a local artist named N'nami Zaka. Well, welcome.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. It was a long trip, but I'm glad to be here.
Well, Mr. Zaka, you certainly have a unique sound, I guess. I was just wondering who your influences are in your music.
Well, I don't know. I've been listening to a lot of Lee Scratch Perry lately. I want to get into some reggae making, but I was listening to Devo today. A lot of Talking Heads, Stereolab. I don't know. There's others. No Beatles really. Well, no Beatles. Jeez, this is hard to when you put me on the spot here. I should probably have a list or something.
All right. So I'm sitting across the table from you right now, and I'm noticing a unique fashion sense. Now, in doing some of the research when you first came on the show, I noticed an article that said that Vermont Teddy Bear actually looked at your style to model a couple of bears off of you, and they've been hot sellers. I wanted to see what your feeling about this is, and how that even started in the first place.
I don't really like the tone of that question, so can we maybe I might warm up to it, but can we just go to the next one? I really didn't like it.
Okay, I guess. Just give me a second. All right. Well, I've been doing a little bit more digging into your background, using the investigators from JMI, and I've found that you donated quite a bit of money to the Jalal Corporation, which we have tied to Bin Laden Industries, which of course is tied to the infamous terrorist group Al Qaeda. We've released these records to the FBI. And I'm not really sure what's going to happen. I know you have been having legal trouble in the past, but with that statutory rape case in 1987, and then you had, I think 30,000 parking tickets or something like that. I just heard that you're never allowed to drive again. So can you comment on some of your legal troubles you've been having in the past?
Well, yeah, I have donated money to supposedly questionable charities. I don't know. I like their direction. America is like a bad thief because it believes that it is secure when it is messing with other people's security. And that is just, you can't operate like that. Number one. Number two, you're going to have to refresh me on the second one. Statutory rape. Well, I mean, she was in pre-K with me, and I mean, we were both in pre-K. It's not, they should have looked at it. I mean, the judgment, I should have appealed it. I don't know what I was thinking. I was 3, so I guess that explains a little bit.
All right. Well, I appreciate your candor. I'll tell you that. Well, we've been operating kind of a hostile interview so far, so I'm going to throw you a bit of a softball question. What's the capital of Oman?
Oman? I believe it's Muscat. Pronounced Muscat. Muscat, to clear my name.
N'nami Zaka, we're so pleased to have you on the show this week. We're going to be hearing some stuff from you coming up right now. Could you preview that for us and let us know what we're going to be listening to?
Well, I think I have. I'm working on an EP of songs that I'm covering by. His name is Ricky Nelson. He's a 50s kind of rocky artist. No, I hate that word. Musician. But I really just made up songs and then used his lyrics. So there's one of those. I'm gonna play a song from that EP, and then some from my first CD that I did a couple years back. It's pretty good. It's called Litic, I think. Lick It Till It Comes. and then just some other stuff, scattered random stuff.
All right, well, Mr. Zaka, it was great to have you on the show.
Yeah, thanks. It was fun. I enjoyed the questions. Usually when I come on these things, the questions are just lame about. I don't even care to remember them, but your questions are exquisite. Thank you. Like a fine, exquisite robe from the land of Morrowind.
Okay, well, thanks for being here. We're gonna hear a song from Mr. N'nami Zaka. Enjoy. Greetings and welcome to Put Your Mouth on My Religion, a roundtable discussion. I'm Jim Mazner, your host. My guests today are Sanjay, Bricks, Ghostmajunder, local representative to the Hindu faith, and Mitch-Mike Mitchell, Baptist preacher at the First Baptist Church in Smoky, Alabama. Welcome to you both, Mike Mitch and Bricks.
Thanks, Jim. It is almost an unbearable pleasure to be here with you.
Okay, well, it's good to have you both on the show. So anyway, Mitch-Mike, I read the back of your new book, Get It Out of There, and I have to say that I'm very surprised to see a man of your faith come out so strongly in favor of abortion.
That's right, Jim. Not only am I strongly in favor of abortion, I'm strongly in favor of mandatory abortion. How can you suggest such a terrible thing? Well, Bricks, even in your own silly little religion, the true spiritual life begins after death. So why not cut right to the chase? What I'm suggesting is that we send all babies straight to heaven, or Pearl Jam, or whatever you people call it. I am shocked and I am appalled. I am scratching my head, sitting here wondering, a man of your caliber, a southern gentleman, wanting to kill the infant young of your American women. Disgusting.
All right, gentlemen, but what about baptism? Wouldn't you have to baptize the baby before it goes to heaven?
Jim, I have just two words for you. Holy water and douches. Correction. That is 3 words, you great hairy American beast. Strong words from a man whose ideal afterlife is to be reincarnated as a cow. Stop saying that, you queer, or I'll sock you in the face and you'll stay plastered. You will be reincarnated as a bug, and I will crush you. I'm telling Gandhi you said that. Well, get over here. Get over here.
Gentlemen, please, let's try to keep this civil. This is a sad day when religion is being used as fuel for violence. Anyway, I think this was one of the better roundtable discussions we've had. Thank you, gentlemen, both of you, for being here.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Jim. Thank you for having us. This is a wonderful venue. Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much.
That was Put Your Mouth on My Religion, and this is Mouthwords.
This is sound check. This is sound check. Kevin, and I'm Kevin. And I'm thank you.
Hello and welcome to Soundcheck. I am Kevin Murphy Singer. I'll be reviewing albums from artists I like to listen to. However, if an artist I like underwhelms me or disappoints, I will be the first to admonish them. So let's begin at the beginning. Death by Blades, a.k.a. Hans Motherboard, a.k.a. the Holy Goose, a.k.a. the Dutch Oven, a.k.a. what his mother calls him, David Berg, has released an eponymous debut that bit crushes everything you knew and loved about melody. This wiry little concept album is sure to give new meaning to the phrase, "Now I've heard everything." Ostensibly about a young girl who loses her shoes in a cockfight she mistakenly stumbles into during Easter 1938, at the height of the Spanish Civil War, it's really a musical saga that explores universal themes of loss, angst, candy, and damp clothing. Rating, 2 t-shirts and a cup of jizz. Seek and ye shall be rewarded. I'm looking forward to the pending full length. You know, as a matter of fact, do we have it on file? Good. Let's actually play a sample from Death by Blades. Good stuff. From Spain comes El Guincho, a man. His album, Alegranza, is a light-hearted ode to the uninhabited and northernmost island of the Canary cluster that goes by the same name. Alegranza means joy, and its inspiration and sentiment are evident on El Guincho's marvelous debut album, which sounds something akin to what you'd expect the noisy celebratory antics of a primitive island tribe to sound like if their water supply was tainted with electric Kool-Aid. Chant cocoons engulf you, steel drum solos run off into the horizon, and competing polyrhythms, raw and unvarnished, collide in your ear holes. DJ Shadow links hands with the local chieftain, and the two are dunked in a refreshing summer salsa. Sunny harmonies and airy instrumentation, built mostly around clattering loops, help to purge the soul of jaded winter blues. Interminable winter be gone, Alegranza signals what will hopefully be an endless summer. Now, I should pay nod to numerous comparisons of this album to last year's finest, Person Pitch, which came by way of Animal Collective's Bashful Genius, Panda Bear, or Noah Lennox. Quick digression. If you haven't heard Person Pitch yet, you're sorely in debt to yourself, and as Jim Mazner would say, a big dumb idiot. Now, aside from the compositional technique and layered repetition of sampled sounds, the two albums aren't exactly stylistic clones. Alegranza is less ponderous, wistful, contemplative, and frankly isn't quite as good an album as Person Pitch. However, it is one of the most unique-sounding albums of this young year and a true joy to listen to. Rating, 8 soles de verano, el amor de esta nación. Stephen Malkmus' new album, Real Emotional Trash, this time featuring his band of merry Jicks in a capacity larger than Cameo, delivers on a promise handed down through the generations. So relates Abraham to Isaac. When the 43rd king is crowned twice, and the woman and the painted man vie for the throne, a sound shall be heard that will still the masses, end all toil, end all time, and vibrate the eardrum in the key of infinity. Theologians and music critics alike have speculated. Was it Mozart's Ninth Symphony, or perhaps Pet Sounds, Loveless, Daydream Nation, or Malkmus' own previous opuses, Wowie Zowie, or Slanted and Enchanted? Now, in recent years, famed music critic Robert Christgau thought that album was Crunk Hits Volume 2, and while a consensus seemed to be building around that opinion, the release of this monster epic from the erstwhile pavement leader and omnificun genius proves that it was real emotional trash Abraham had prophesied about, lo, those many moons ago. Time and again, listeners will ponder Malkmus' winding song structures and deft guitar exploitation, wondering aloud, the song, it began like this, ended like that, and somewhere along the line I came face to face with the notorious G.O.D., and it was good. Amen. Rating, 10,000 miles of style and a solid gold LP that will keep on giving long after the human race has itself been erased. Papa Malkmus has 2 mouths to feed now, so you better go out and buy this one. Okay, now we're going to go into our From the Vault segment. That's an album that's 5 years or older. And the year was 1980. A Hoboken foursome calling themselves the Feelies were the outer envelope and utter echelon of jitter rock. Their songs had just what they advertised nominally, feeling. Like a B12 shot, or the straight strong stuff mainlined into your right thigh. But what I liked most about the Feelies is their ability to write songs with more than just 2 moves, namely shake and boogie. The Feelies' debut is equally as interesting and enjoyable in a set of headphones on the dance floor of your mind as it is at your favorite discotheque. Whether in the foreground or background, it's the real deal. Rating, 1 Latin bride, 2 French hens, 2 tons of superheated Mexican jumping beans, and a mouth-watering morsel of electric spoon-fed grapes. Go forth and listen, listeners. Back to Jim Mazner headquarters. Jim!
Well, thanks for listening to this episode of Mouthwords. Next episode, expect more jokes from Jim by Jim, restaurant reviews for Detroit's culinary treats, and an in-depth preview of the upcoming baseball season with sports insurgent, the wacky Iraqi, Bruce Nager. All that and more in 2 weeks. Well, this show was produced by Kevin Singer, Alex Weiner, and myself, with contributions from David Berg and Jared Silbert. Thanks to Matt Beer for providing the music used throughout the episode. Mouthwords is brought to you by the Wayne State chapter of the United Student Community for the Re-Deintegration of Popular Civil Initiatives. USCRPCI. We're doing something. Subscribe to Mouthwords via the iTunes podcast directory and have the show automatically downloaded to your iTunes with every new episode. Any comments or contributions are always welcome. Please email them to us at mouthwords1@gmail.com. That's MOUTHWORDS1 @GMAIL.com. This is Mouthwords, and I'm Jim Mazner. Amidst the dry, menacing infinity, I have a pyramid of examples. Success versus obsolescence, adoration of wordplay and witty pun gestures, unity in life and art. This is your mouth. This is your mouth on Mouthwords. This is Jim Mazner.
Jim Mazner.
Thank you, Jim.
I told you I was going to do the count.
Oh, why would you do that? All right. Okay, try it again.